So let's assume you're right and the Republicans take back the House and the Senate. What does that do for the United States?
I think it puts us in a position where the Democratic Party will be in a position similar to where it was post 94 and plus 2010, with a presidency that is weakened, in Biden's case, potentially irreparably. And I think it puts the United States in a position where we remain polarized, but we have the likely reemergence of Donald Trump as a candidate for the Republican nomination.
But Biden himself will not be able to get any of his agenda through Congress, right?
None of it. He'll run against Trump, as you saw and reported earlier in your No Spin News.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Donald Trump candidacy. I know he wants to run. He told me he did. And as you know, I'm going out with the former president to do 4 major history shows. And I'll get a good idea of, what his posture is, how he's going to present himself. But there is no question, and we're seeing it in California, that demonizing Donald Trump works in some independent precincts. Now, the Republicans, most still like Donald Trump, but it's going to be the independents in this country, as it always is, that really decide the presidency. So Biden, I think he's looking forward to having Trump rather than a DeSantis or a Scott in South Carolina, where it's harder to demonize them.
Well, I think that's absolutely true. And you asked before what happens to the United States. And my answer is if we spend another 2 or 3 years fighting the same fights between Biden and Trump or Kamala Harris and Trump, I think we will all lose, and it will be bad for our country, bad for our foreign policy. And one issue we haven't mentioned, but deserves, I think, at least brief reference, is the southern border. Immigration.
Well, Biden's not going to do anything about the southern border. It's too late. I mean, he'd have to embarrass himself. Right. And the media, the corporate media, isn't covering the story. It had to cover Afghanistan because the pictures were so compelling coming out of there by the foreign news outlets, by the BBC and others. That's why the corporate media in America had to get involved. But they're covering up for Biden. Everybody knows they are. And that will continue. And they're salivating, Doug, at getting Donald Trump back into the arena. I mean, CNN, they're off the chart low ratings now. As soon as Trump gets in, they're going to triple their ratings. So is MSNBC. All the networks will basically rally around Biden. And so they're salivating for Trump. Is that a factor?
I mean, it's a factor. But if, as you suggest, and as I believe, we have a weak economy, problems at the southern border, the possibility of renewed terrorism and uncertainty in our foreign policy with an assertive Russia and China, I think it's much more likely that, notwithstanding the potential good news on COVID a year from now, I think it's going to be a massive rebuke to my party based on everything I see and hear.
Okay, last question.
Sure.
Socialism. Now, the hardcore socialists have gained an enormous amount of power in the last 2 years. And they're just, you can see how arrogant they are. You can see that Bernie Sanders attacking Manchin. And I mean, I think they have peaked, but I could be wrong. What do you think?
Inside the Democratic Party, I believe they have a substantial voice. And since we don't have bipartisanship, what the Biden administration is doing is virtually all their time is spent trying to consolidate a fractious party. As far as the electorate is gone, I think there is no real enthusiasm for socialism. And I think inside the Democratic Party, you may well be right, Bill, that if we have a historic defeat in the 2022 midterms and the Democrats take it on the chin, it may well be a recoil, rebound, backlash, whatever word you want, against AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren, who do not speak for the broad mass of the American people.
Hey, I'm sure you've noticed that everything is getting more expensive, and with all this printing money and spending by the progressives, I'm concerned the dollar's end could be near. If the government continues this way, the dollar could freefall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. That's why there's never been a more important time to consider gold and silver to protect you and your family. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I'm happy to put my name behind. I have done business with them myself. It just takes a quick phone call and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.